Hello everybody, this is Leffen. I'm going to do a top 20 rank list as a part of a subgoal. I honestly hate these lists, especially when they're done without justification, since they're just numbers and they're very biased. So at least I'm going to try to include my biases, and I'm going to say like, I think this player is here because of, and if I miss out on a result, for example, you guys can just say like, oh, he underrated this player because he didn't know that Axe, destroyed Mutkan this tournament, which I think is very important. So first things first, this tournament ranking list is not overall achievement. It's not a point system. It's not about a tournament won. I think what I'm ranking right now, which I think is more important for the best players, for best players' perspective, is from the people I fought and from results. Who do I think is currently the best player right now? Top 20. And the beginnings, we're gonna start from the beginning, and the beginnings are gonna be kind of shit because I don't know the top 20 people. So I'll start off, I guess, by getting immediately dominates ranking list and going from there, because it's honestly the easiest way. I originally only wanted to do top 10 because I feel like those are more important, but yeah, I'm not really sure who's top 10. We can find this top 10 list. Oh, okay. Everything. I guess I'll start by just naming the people who are top 25 in the Melee Army list. 25 The Moon, 24 Drugged Fox, 23 Wisrobe, 22 Amsa, 21 Fly Amanita. So those are the people. I think the only really one, maybe Fly. He had a pretty good performance at press start. People will seem to forget, although he kind of got lucky by the brackets still. Alright, so here's where they are. Wait, what? Alright, 20 Kirby Kaza. So here's their ranking: 20 Kirby Kaza, 19 Hugs, 18 Smoke Tree Joints, 17 Ice, 16 MacD. Alright, so first off, I think Wisrobe is better than Smoke Tree Joints. I at least think he has generally better results. He did kind of underperform at Smash Con, but I feel like he has better peaks than Smoky Joints. So I guess, although I'll be honest, the race is kind of close, and now my software thing is from here. What is even happening right now? I can't even grab this card. Why? Okay, I think we're back. This is comic sense. Deal with it. Top 20. I think Fly is 20. I personally rank him over Kirby Kaza. I think he has higher peaks than Kirby Kaza. None of them have super high peaks, but he can also beat a lot of the top 10 players on a good day, although he doesn't always. This is again not based fully on results. I don't know the results. I'm not going to look them up, which I think everybody should, making a serious list, but this is not the most serious of lists. 19. It was 19 there. 19 was Hugs. 19 Wisrobe. 18. I would say Hugs. Hugs or MacD. They're very close. Probably MacD actually. I think Hugs is a tiny bit better than MacD. Not by much again, but I would definitely put Hugs above him. Mike D is better than teams, but that doesn't really matter here. So overall, he's a better player than the Hawks, but this is a singles list. 16. So one thing I really didn't like was Ice was 17th in the Miami ranking, which is, in my opinion, bonkers, especially as someone who plays with him. He's very good. His real problem is honestly that he chokes, and that pulls him back. But yeah, that's just kind of how it is. So 15, here's the Miami, 15 to 10. 15 is Hacks, Silent Wolf, 12 Ty, S-Fat, and Lucky, Shroomed. So I would put probably Hacks here. And then it's like a toss-up, honestly, between Silent Wolf, S-Fat, Shroomed, Lucky, and Ice. Personally, I think Ice is better than them, but yeah, it's gonna be hard. He lost to, so for the record, he lost to me and Mango at Evo. So I would probably put Silent Wolf here. Okay, let's just make some space, please. Then SVAT. SVAT's problem is that he never really makes top 8s, and I feel like Ice has a higher potential than he does. You know, you can disagree with me about that, but again, this is my list, and from playing the people and like the potential they have. Ice. Then we have Lucky. Lucky is off and on, honestly. He lost to Armada secondaries this last week in the Day to the Throne, which was really embarrassing, and he dropped set to Maya. But since he has beaten, he has some pretty good results overall. Especially him and Ice, like Ice in general is a very toss up. Oh yo, thanks for Ace of Tokyo Wada for the sub in. Anyway, Ice and Lucky both have like off and on performances because I've seen less of Ice. But again, I think Ice is probably somewhere here, maybe a bit poor. Ice is definitely one of the people. If he could get his mental game and travel more, I think he could be one of the contenders for top 6. But yeah, people don't realize how hard it is to just live like we do in Germany. Do I even agree with putting him? Yeah, probably Shroomed. I'm pretty sure that, you know, Shroomed's best performance this summer was beating Mango, and Mango was piss drunk. I am very certain of the fact that he was really drunk at CEO, so I don't really take that win very seriously. Then he got destroyed by me, and then he lost to West Balls. He also lost to Javi in Santiago, I think, at Evo. So actually, let me change this up. Shroom is good, but kind of put him up here. Oh, this is a terrible way of doing it. Alright, and 10 on the Miami list. I think I agree with this. Let me think for a bit. I think that's PPU, yeah. So here we're going into the top 10. And I kind of want to make a tier because I feel like there's very significant tiers here. So let's make a tier. I feel like here is a significant tier between from Hacks level, who has like beaten top 10 players, way more solidly, and is threat to take second, first, and can really win the tournaments when no one else is there. I don't really see Fly, Wisro, Deep, Hugs, winning tournaments nearly as often as these people could do when no one else is there. Yeah, from here, I would say that it's probably cap kind of until here. This is a smaller gap, but I still feel like it's significant. Like these people, they generally tend to hacks is a big mysterious sign because we don't know. But yeah, this is generally where I would put him. And I feel like these guys are also like they're better than the other people. They tend to beat the people in the tier below them. And they occasionally upset top players, but when they run it back, they usually lose. And then we have the next tier, which consists of West Balls, Club, Axe, and Music Gang. So which order should I put these in? Because I feel like these are the people that most consistently scratch the surface of the top 6, or the top 6. Yeah. Honestly, I'm just gonna. I think Music King showed at SmashCon that he's clearly number 6. He destroyed Axe. He destroyed Blop last time they played. Has never lost to West Balls. He beat him at what the fuck's like. People say that the era of the gods is done, blah 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 blah, but it's really not. Even back in the day, Music King used to lose the wobbles like he did now, and such. So yeah, Music King's just been a bit of a slump in the early summer, but he still destroys Axe most of the time. He's a very dominant record against Plop, West Balls. Yeah, you can't really argue that none of it, that inconsistency at least. And I also feel like he's more scary of an opponent. He almost beat Mango with the Fox. He did go last game. Oh, yo, we have a donation. Yeah, I was saying controller. Probably. Unless you smell. So which one of these 3 should we rank? Some people put Plup over Axe. And I've been thinking about it. So I think, personally, Axe deserves to be ranked above him because he had really good result at Sandstorm, Press Start, and he's been very consistent throughout the whole year. Plup did have some very high peak performances, but people forget that despite him playing close with me and Mango, he only got 7th at that event. No one would really even care about Plup getting 7th. I mean, Axe getting 7th. Like, oh, he got 7th at Paragon, no one cares. I'm not sure. I do think Westball should be 9th though. He is kind of similar in Plop and Axe and the potential he has, but he's less consistent. Like both Evos, he kind of busted out, losing to Shoot at this time, and Ken. It's just really off and on. Which of Plop and Axe is higher? I still feel like Plop has more to show. The majority of the sets he's won right now is still best of 3. He's very good against Hungerbox solo. He's been a couple times. I'm not really sure. When I see him play at locals these days, post Eva, I haven't really been super impressed. Playing him in extended sets like in friendlies after, I almost lost to him at CEO. I wasn't super impressed once I kind of figured out how reliant on grab he was. Of course, Sheik is still very new, so I really expect Plup to be one of those guys that could have really high potential if it doesn't stagnate or plateau. But not really sure yet, honestly. I'm just gonna put ahead and tie these two because Axe has consistency, but Plup has potential. And then we put Hungry Box Hungrybox is like easily number 1 in this tier, but I still feel like he belongs in this tier. Some people are gonna really hate me, but I'm counting player skill, not results again. And Hungrybox is generally the person that beats whoever's not on point in that tournament. It's very rarely, I feel, in my honest opinion, and speaking to other top players, that we feel like, Hungrybox developed some tech. He learned the planking, but that wasn't really the reason anybody lost at Evo. That was more, Mango SDing, me getting rested a couple of times, or for FC, like Armada, tilting and not really being able to fight him up close. So overall, I think Hungrybox definitely belongs in this tier. These guys, you could argue for like small gap here. But yeah, all these guys, they can place highly. They can beat they can beat anyone. Really, they have potential to, at least, other than like Axe and maybe Plup having a rough time against Armada. But they're not likely to win tournaments. In fact, they never have won a super major. They're the best are the people that don't win, but really they're like second place people. Westbrook can get second place, Plup can get second place, Axe can get second place, Mute can get second place, Hungrybox can get second place, but almost everybody else above them fucks up, they're not gonna win. And you see this time again with Hungrybox at the 3 Evos. See it so many times whenever Hungrybox wins against someone, he beats Armada, then gets destroyed by the next person. Simply because it's very he's perfect at staying at a certain level and forcing out mistakes, but people aren't affected by that. He looks almost foolish when he plays against people, like he did against Armada and Mango at CEO and me at FC. So yeah, here we have the top 4. It's Mango, Leffen, PBMD, and Armada. So here's where I think most people care the most. Some people say like, some people say that Mango have he has overall worse year than Hungrybox. Some people say PPMD is not active enough, but in my opinion, from playing these people enough and actually studying people, I don't study Hungrybox, I don't study Muted King. Armada doesn't they look at Hungrybox like, what is Hungrybox doing? We don't really look like, how do I get better at this matchup so I can become better than Hungrybox? Because these people are the only people that can win tournaments. I remember talking with Armada, the chance of anyone else but us winning a tournament, winning Evo, is less than 5%, including Hungrybox. And while I think that's maybe a bit, a bit much, a bit low, thank you, Awesome Face, for 7. It's still, kind of close in my opinion. It doesn't happen that people when everyone's gathered, when all 4 of us are here at tournament, one of us is gonna win. And these are the people, the 3 people I really consider myself to have really rivals against. Although of course I have losing records against several more people, but these are the people where I feel like between each tournament I have to make up, because I know everyone else is going to be improving, so I need to get better. In say a month, I need to improve more than these people do. Not only do I need to stay better than where I just feel like I need to stay fresh in the Hungrybox matchup or the Mute King matchup. I need to avoid grabs. I don't need to get rested. I don't need to get rushed down by Axe. I need to learn the Samus matchup. I need to not get helped by Westball's shenanigans, such. But when I talk about Mango, PP, and Armada, it's like, okay, this time I beat him 3-0, but next time he's going to be adapting to this and he's going to become better and he's going to study me and I have to study him, and we all have to see who can improve the most before each tournament. And I know that every time I beat Armada, he's going to come back with some answers. And every time I beat PP, he's going to come back with some answers. And he knows that every time I lose, I'm going to come back with some answers. And I don't really feel like that is so consistently true with any other players. Sometimes Mute King starts beating Hungrybox. Sometimes, Hungrybox comes back and beats PP. But there will go times where he like loses, and he just looks hopeless. Or will go times where he loses to Mango 20 times, he just looks hopeless. Maybe Mango wins once and then goes back to being hopeless. That isn't really the case. If Mango loses once, Hungrybox is not losing to him again for a while. If Mara loses at FC, he's gonna make sure he wins at Evo. Now that I lost at Evo, I'll make sure to at least put in the effort to not lose to him again. And as I said, these are the type of people that can win tournaments. It's like win super majors. But yeah, so in my opinion, right now, again, this is right now, I think PP is the worst out of S4. Why? Because I think that he kind of got lucky at Apex. He had a lot of close sets. And this is not to take away from that. He's done amazingly well considering, the fact that he is, away and not playing. And of course it has some advantages in that people don't know how to play against him, but obviously it has a lot of disadvantages too. This is just clearly what is his current skill right now. And I think that while he's very, very good at Evo, he had a very weak showing. He kind of got by, in my opinion, on others' mistakes. Plup, spilled beer on his controller. He didn't seem to know the Marth matchup at all. And, while he played good and better in losers, his sheep was still very off. And I could honestly tell that even his Samus was a bit off. He kind of just won against me because I'm terrible in that matchup. Not to take any credit off him, he's an amazing player. But at Evo top 8 day, he wasn't the player that everyone else, makes him up to be. Just because of the controller. And, that's just, in my opinion, PP's fault. Because he lost very big to both Armada and Hunger. It was very decisive. He looked like he didn't have a chance. But he's still a tournament threat, And he's amazing under pressure. Occasionally he just looks like he isn't affected by pressure at all. And then we have Mango. I think that this is pretty much undisputable in my opinion. Mango is like the Sweets being top 2. That is, Mango did put on some good performances. He did beat Mango. He did beat Armada last time they played. I feel like he certainly showed some adjustment in the Fox Ditto. Although I do think that Armada kind of played shit with Fox in the first game. But still, he shows that he can adapt to the counter pick meta and that he could take games with Captain Falcon, and that would drastically change the matchup with Armada. He did lose very decisively to me and has had a low year rankings wise, but playing him, I can kind of tell that, when he's playing good, at least he's a number 1 threat. And he could easily beat me or Mara if we play off. And then there's a small gap. And this is what, not as much as Mango can't beat me or PPMD can't beat Armada as much as it's just what tends to happen and what has tended to happen in the last couple months is that we win more than they do. So here we have Armada, Leffen. And what it comes down to, when you rank each of us, in my opinion, is what you value more than any decisive fact. I feel like the next couple of tournaments are going to be really decisive. If Armada or me flops, then the other one is the best one. Even if the other one doesn't even win, if the other one just plays worse, then that could be proof enough. But right now it's really hard to tell. I've stated before that I think I think I'm the best player right now. And this is not something I say like, oh my god, I'm the best player. You know, no one can beat me. But because my goal is have better legacy than Mango and Armada. I'm very, very far from that. So I need to do really well for a really long time to be considered better than them overall, legacy wise. But I feel like right now, in this day, I think that I am better than Amada. If we had to play today, or right after Evo, like 100 matches when we played friendlies, we played tons of friendlies, and in tournaments, I honestly felt that I was better. And this is not trying to describe Armada. Armada is very consistent, but during this year, the only month he actually performed better than me was April, where I had my slump. And this does sound like John's, but so he performed worse than me than Beast 5. And I beat him twice. I beat him once at Paragon and outplaced him by 2 placements. He beat me once at Apex and outplaced me by 1. And then he beat me at a couple small tournaments, and I'm Not Yelling, as well as winning I'm Not Yelling and Sandstorm. After that, he has now beat me again, and I've beat him very decisively in 4 sets. One of them was close, but the other one were very dominant, not even close. And then when he did do better, when he won one of the 5 summer tournaments, evidently he wasn't at SmashCon. He didn't actually beat me or Mango. Both me and Mango beat him at World of Fox, the tournament, a week before, in best of 5, both of us. And he managed to scrape by. And this is also going to sound like an enormous John, but the Evo seeding, the way it was done, the best of 3 was a big problem, but another huge problem was that it didn't change the seeding. They actually let each king enter if he wanted to, but they wouldn't change the seeding. So it was locked in way before. And despite me going into Evo was clearly should have been the first seed, I was 4th, lower than PP, who didn't have any results since Apex, which in turn made the entire bracket look entirely different. If I had been first, then I would not have to play Hungry Box. I would not have to play before winning semis if he was 4th. So instead, what could have been, so me first, if they had changed the seeding, me first, Mango Armada second and third, doesn't matter, they face each other and win the semis, and then PP 4th. So that way I play either Hungry Box or PP in winner semis, and that alone changed a lot. It could have changed things, but it could also not have. But I think that it just adds even more to why it mattered less. Me and Armada talked before you were I said I have the best tournament results, even no matter what happens to you, because I will only have lost 2 sets. Everyone else has lost way more than 2 sets, unless PP wins, and he lost very big, 2 best of 5 sets. Because it was the same as was it last year? Yeah, when the Mango won MLG, which was way harder to win, and then he won Evo in best of 3, and just kind of won because Hungry Box beat Armada. It doesn't mean as much. When it's done like that, when Mango won the tournament before, it adds to his. It puts the nail in the coffin. It adds all the doubt. Oh, can you beat Hungry Box again? Armada couldn't even make it to you. But when it's done like this, where he's lost 3 weekends in a row to me, and then starts losing to Mango, and then he wins Evo done on a previous seeding where he didn't have to play Mango or me because we lost in best of 3. and then he went last game every time with Hungry Box. So he didn't even have a very decisive win over Hungry Box. He went last stock with Salt Wolf, went close to them before with PPU. So I don't really see the whole like, oh my god, he jumped in skill and now he's suddenly cleared it first. But I do see that if you make it consistency, and if you really value like, oh, sometimes Leffen goes into a slump and performs really badly like he did in April, then I can see it putting it first. But in my opinion, if you're talking about current skill right now, unless you're predicting that I'm going into a slump, then I think that putting me first should be a no-brainer for current skill, not legacy, not overall rankings and like such, but just current actual skill. Since the only 2 sets I lost were best of 3, and that sounds like a John, but if Mango, anyone else had done it, I think people would be kind of more understanding. Yeah, I lost 2 sets in best of 3, and Armada didn't actually end up beating me or Mango, and he didn't beat me once this entire summer. And I have a hard time putting someone first when he has a 0-4 and recent record. Was it 0-4? No, 0-5 record against me in the recent months for his wins. That's just me personally. I may be very biased, but that's just my honest opinion. You can take it as well, you can add bias, but my current list of current skill, remember that, is Armada second and me first. But I think what's really interesting is that no one's gonna give a shit, and everyone's gonna probably put Armada first, Mango second, me third seeding. And again, legacy wise, I'm not really in the competition yet for those 2. But yeah, I overall think that this is a very, very tight race, and this is a tight race. This is not so much of a tight race. This is obviously a tie. But yeah, that's my opinions. Hope you enjoyed it. Sorry if it ran kind of long. I didn't intend to. See you next time.